AI isn't coming someday. It's already moving pieces behind your life right now.
How many people watching this have actually used ChatGPT or some kind of AI tool before? Because here's the crazy part. Most people still think AI is just something you open on a screen, like an app, like a feature, when in reality it's about to disappear into the background and run things quietly around you. And before we go any further, real quick, hit subscribe and let us keep moving, because this shift is happening whether people notice it or not. In just a few years, AI won't feel like software anymore. It'll feel like infrastructure, like electricity, like Wi-Fi, always there, always working, never announcing itself. And that change has already started. Big research firms are projecting that a serious chunk of everyday decisions will be made autonomously by AI systems before the end of this decade. Not sci-fi decisions, not movie stuff, but real work. Decisions that affect schedules, research paths, logistics, and creative output. What makes this moment different from past tech waves is timing, because multiple accelerations are overlapping at once. Model capability is improving, training efficiency is exploding, and adoption is scaling across industries at the same time. That overlap is rare, and when it happens, everything bends fast. 3 years might sound short in human terms, but in AI terms, that's a massive runway. Right now, hundreds of new foundation-level models are being trained globally, not slowing down, not plateauing, accelerating. And at the same time, companies aren't just testing AI anymore. They're building it directly into operations, budgets, and long-term plans, which signals something important. Curiosity has turned into dependency. And that's where the real shift begins, because once a system becomes something you depend on, you stop thinking about whether it works and start designing your life around it. That's exactly what's happening with AI right now. One of the clearest places you can see this is research, because AI isn't just speeding things up anymore. It's driving discovery itself. Systems are being built that can scan millions of papers, patents, and datasets, connect ideas across fields, and generate testable hypotheses in hours instead of years, and that changes what progress even looks like. Think about how research used to work. Humans reading endlessly, manually connecting dots, testing ideas one by one. But today, AI can search pattern spaces so massive that humans don't even know where to begin. And once those patterns are found, robotic labs can execute experiments automatically, closing the loop faster than any human team ever could. That doesn't mean scientists disappear. It means timelines collapse. Medicine, chemistry, material science all move faster, not because humans became smarter, but because they stopped being the bottleneck. Here's where retention really matters, because this isn't about one breakthrough. It's about momentum. Once AI proves it can discover, it gets trusted with more responsibility, and once it gets more responsibility, progress compounds. Another major shift is happening in work itself, not through chatbots, but through AI agents, systems that don't wait for instructions. They pursue goals, they monitor information, they decide when action is needed, and they act across tools without constant supervision. Instead of asking an AI to do one thing, these agents handle entire workflows, tracking data, coordinating steps, flagging issues, and resolving tasks in the background. And this is exactly what enterprises want, because modern work is complex, messy, and constant. Businesses aren't looking for magic, they're looking for relief, systems that can manage complexity without burning people out. And that's why agent-based AI is growing so fast. Even though many early projects will fail, the ones that work won't feel revolutionary. They'll feel normal, invisible, necessary. And that's the pattern you should watch for. The biggest changes don't announce themselves loudly, they just quietly remove friction. Quick pause here. If you're still locked in, that tells me you re someone who wants to understand what's coming instead of reacting late. So make sure you're subscribed, because these shifts don't slow down to wait for anyone. Another layer that's reshaping everything is multimodal AI, systems that don't just understand text, but images, audio, video, diagrams, screenshots all at once. Because real life doesn't happen in neat text boxes, it happens across formats simultaneously. Right now, early systems can already watch videos, analyze charts, listen to meetings, and respond with both visuals and speech. But the real leap comes when all of that merges into one continuous experience, no switching tools, no translating formats, no breaking context. When AI carries understanding across modalities, Workflows become smoother, faster, and less mentally exhausting, and that matters more than flashy demos, because productivity doesn't come from spectacle, it comes from continuity. As this tech spreads, the biggest impact won't be technical, it'll be economic. Because AI changes how value is created, not by replacing everything, but by compressing time, decision cycles shrink, operations speed up, and data finally gets used instead of sitting idle. Some roles evolve, some shrink, new ones emerge, especially roles focused on supervising, auditing, and guiding AI systems, because automation still needs accountability and humans remain responsible for outcomes. But this redistribution isn't smooth, and that's where tension builds. Because while some people adapt quickly, others feel displaced, which makes the conversation around AI less about capability and more about trust. Security, ethics, and governance are no longer side topics. Because AI systems are already being used offensively and defensively, automated attacks adapt faster than humans can respond, and that forces governments and organizations to rethink responsibility. Instead of trying to stop AI, most efforts focus on accountability, transparency, auditability, making sure systems can be inspected and corrected when something goes wrong, because once AI influences healthcare, finance, hiring, or law, trust becomes non-negotiable. Here's an important reality check that keeps this grounded despite all this acceleration. Most experts don't expect human-level general intelligence in the immediate future. What we're moving toward instead is something quieter, but arguably more impactful. Highly capable, domain-specific systems embedded everywhere. These systems won't reason about everything, but they'll reason extremely well about specific tasks, scheduling, optimization, research assistance, infrastructure management, creative workflows, and they'll do it continuously without drama. And that's where retention locks in again. Because the future of AI isn't about machines replacing humans overnight. It's about humans slowly realizing how much they already rely on systems they barely notice. I will schedule things, optimize routes, monitor systems, flag issues, and coordinate actions in the background and over time. That just becomes how things work, like GPS, like cloud storage, like search engines. If you're still here, you already understand something most people don't yet. The biggest technological shifts don't feel explosive, they feel subtle, until one day you can't imagine life without them. Before we wrap this up, one last reminder, if you want to stay ahead of this curve instead of catching up later, make sure you're subscribed because this isn't a one-time conversation, it's an unfolding reality. The next few years aren't about asking whether AI will change daily life. That question is already answered. The real question is how deeply it integrates, how comfortable people become relying on it, and how wisely it's guided. AI isn't replacing human intelligence, it's reshaping where human intelligence matters most: goals, values, judgment, and direction. The systems are getting faster, quieter, and more capable, and as they do, the world doesn't suddenly feel futuristic, it just feels different. And by the time everyone realizes how much changed, it'll already be normal.